going on, guys? If you saw in that title, these are the top 10 fart box movies of the year. These are the stinkiest things that we could possibly find. You've seen the best of, so let's talk about the garbage.
In the words of the doctor from The Simpsons, you've tried the best, now try the rest. And that's exactly what we're here to do today. These are the worst movies that we saw in 2017 that were released in 2017. I don't think either one of us actually watched Caddyshack 2, so it makes sense.
I missed a lot of bad ones, thank goodness.
Dude, I was going to say the same thing.
A lot of bad ones.
My honorable mention list is just movies that I somehow avoided the pitfall of.
Yeah, I mean, I was going through this stuff, and I think that this year, like I said, I had caught up on a lot of the stuff that I missed that was good. And there's only a couple things that I caught on that was bad, and I missed a lot. This is the year that I missed the most stuff, and I looked this time. I said, "Oh, thank goodness."
But I'll say this: we might have had less movies to choose from for our top 10 worst movies of the year,
but we found some good ones.
They're top heavy. There's going to be some really bad ones coming up.
You
want to go first?
No, I did that last time. You go first.
All right. So the honorable mentions of movies that I did not get a chance to check out, but I haven't heard great things about would include The Snowman, Missed It, The Emoji Movie, No Dice, Monster Trucks. What's that? I got so lucky this year. No Flatliners, nothing. Now here we go with the actual top 10 worst movies of Mark Ellis's year. Number 10 is a movie that built up a lot of excitement in me when I saw the trailer, and then I heard some bad things, ended up watching it on an airplane. And the reason why I hate this movie now is twofold. Is one, because they wasted potential with what The Dark Tower could have been. And the other one is that Matthew McConaughey, what is that accent he's doing for the bulk of the... I don't understand why you're talking like that. Get out of the Lincoln, get your head right, go make some romantic comedies, reboot, and then come back and be a serious actor once again. Because the guy's got all the chops in the world, just The Dark Tower. Whew! Huge miss. At number 9 is going to be a movie that I couldn't put more worse on the list because it's not aimed for me, but SMURFS The Lost Village still deserves to be mentioned. I mean, you take a talent like Julia Roberts and you totally waste her in this movie. I like that we stayed in the SMURFS Village. It was definitely an improvement over when we went to live action, people, but the SMURFS The Lost Village can get lost. At number 8 is The Circle.
Well, that wasn't good.
It's not good, and again, wasted potential. Like I was interested in it enough to get me through, but with star power like Tom Hanks, Emma Watson, Patton Oswalt, John Boyega, you expected more from The Circle. Cool premise, bad movie. At number 7 is The Bye-Bye Man. That's a movie. The Bye-Bye Man. Remember, like the Bye-Bye Man, he shows up. You say bye-bye 3 times, so you find a key. Doug Jones plays the Bye-Bye Man, and he's the best part of the movie, and all he does is just kind of stands in the corner and looks like a sack of old clothes. It's just not a good movie. There were some cool horror movies we got this year. We got It. We got Annabelle Creation.
This is not one of them.
This is not one. This might be the worst horror movie that I've... Actually, no, it's not. It's not even close to being the worst horror movie. There's other horror movies that are still down here. Right. At number 6 is going to be Transformers. Congratulations. It's a huge improvement on where your last 2 movies landed because Transformers The Last Night had some good fight scenes in it. I usually criticize the fight scenes because you can't tell what's going on. I like the battle scenes in Transformers. It's everything else, including literally what the movie just could have been with robots and then Anthony Hopkins walking to the bank to cash his paycheck.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. There's only one of those movies on your list that's on my list.
Okay.
But that's also because there's a few of them that I didn't see, like Bye-Bye Man, I definitely didn't see. But I did see SMURFS Lost Village, and I thought it wasn't good, but I also thought that it hit the demo that it was going for.
Yeah, but...
I know, but listen, it was...
my list,
but
I don't have kids.
I'm not disagreeing with you putting it on there. I can get it. And I also think that... What was your number? And there was and Dark Tower, I felt that it was...
You feel it's a bad movie?
I felt that it was poorly directed, and I think that it was so short. There was a lot of great potential in there.
I feel bad putting it on the list, kind of, because I did get some kicks out of it. But again, I got lucky this year with not seeing so many crappy movies.
I can help you out with that.
That's a fart box.
I can help you out with that. All right, so all right. I think that's a respectful, disgusting list. There's a bunch of ones I have on my dishonorable list. That would be Underworld Blood Wars, wasn't very good. Monster Trucks, had the pleasure of catching that, but it was still...
Oh, it didn't make the top 10.
No, because the same thing, it hit the demo.
Okay.
I hit the demo. Space Between Us, I hated that stupid movie. That was a really bad movie. Right. Great Wall, not very good. The Mummy, rough night, all didn't make the list, but they were pretty stinky all the way around. Number 10, Snatched. Goldie Hawn and Amy Schumer Man, did I hate this movie. I was coming off of the other one that she did. What was it?
Trainwreck.
Thank you.
Yep. Trainwreck.
And I said, oh, this could be funny if it's done the right way, and it wasn't done the right way at all. It had the same problem that Rough Night had, and that was this potential movie with the daughter and the mother, and having just that playing off of that, and then they get into this drug cartel stupid adventure, and it was garbage. Number 9, Triple X, the Xander Cage bullshit. This movie was so stupid and dumb, and I hated watching every second of it. And Ruby Rose ruined it. She didn't ruin John Wick 2, but she ruined this movie. Vin Diesel has no idea what the hell he's doing except, I'm going to go to the bank. That's about it.
He's riding a jet ski on snow, wearing a fur coat.
Yeah, it was dumb.
Cool guy.
The only reason that this movie made it so low is because it was so funny, and it wasn't forgettable. That's Unforgettable with Katherine Heigl. You had a chance.
That's a guilty pleasure I wanted to watch.
You should, because there's some laugh out loud moments in this movie.
I gotta see it.
Really are. But this is a movie. You've seen it a billion times. The crazy ex-wife chasing down the new. I don't forget even. It was Rosario Dawson. I think it was. It was Rosario Dawson. I guess
Katherine
it was
Heigl's the villain.
Katherine Heigl is hysterical in this movie.
I got to see this movie. Gotta see it.
It's like The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
Can I watch it as a
comedy.
companion piece to Knocked Up? Is it like a sequel to
It could be. It could be. You can see what happened to her 10
Her
years
27
later.
dresses. When she got the
Maybe.
28th dress, she lost her
It
mind.
could be. It's a really. The thing is that it's one of the best comedies of the year. I'll say that. Number 7. This is where I go just a little higher on your list. This is Transformers. This is a bad movie. There's no doubt about it. There's just other ones that I felt that were just worse. But this movie, I hated this movie. I mean, I really did. I hated watching it, from Stanley Tucci playing Merlin, cracking jokes in the beginning, to making Anthony Hopkins look like Pauly Shore. This was something that I couldn't believe. Just kept going. Michael Bay learns nothing and does the same crap, and it doesn't matter because this time we learned a little bit because it didn't make as much money. But I don't know what was happening. No one knows what was happening. Was Prime good? Was he bad? Was Bumblebee a moron? Who cares? And then number 6, I think you're going to have this on your list, probably a little higher because you mentioned horror movies that really stink, and that's Rings. Yeah, this is another one that I think the airplane scene in the beginning was the one scene that was kind of creepy, and then it just what's good about it is I don't remember much of it except the stupid twist at the end, and I said, I saw that thing coming, and every moment was just the cliched, dumb horror movie cliches that you see over and over and over again. F this movie in the A.
Okay, so I'm looking up the Transformers movies right now. The Transformers 4 made over $1 billion worldwide.
That's 4. This is 5. Right?
Transformers: The Last Night, the 5th one, made $130 million domestically compared to $245 million
People
from
got sick of it.
the previous one, and worldwide it's only done $600 million.
Look at how happy you are about that.
Well, make a better movie, Kristian.
I'm
okay,
hey, I'm not
maybe
yelling at you.
Bumblebee's gonna be good.
Tell me the rest.
Then Unforgettable is something that I'm dying to see.
Well, I wouldn't die to see.
But it looks like does it work for the demographic the same way SMURFS works for kids, where this
no.
works for people like me who want to sit at home, watch Lifetime?
You'll no, it's not like it's.
Would Tori Spelling have been good in this?
This is a bad movie. This is like a good bad movie because there are some really funny moments in this thing that are like I think they're going for serious, but it's so campy and stupid and. The whole theater was laughing the same way that one would laugh at Dumb and Dumber.
I got to see this movie. All right, I approve of your list thus far. We're going to go back into mine now. At number 5 is Pirates of the Caribbean. Dead Men Tell No Tales.
That was honorable mention for me.
A lot of potential with this movie. You could have gone back to form. And right when we meet Johnny Depp's Captain Jack Sparrow, it looks like him. It sounds like him. There's just something a little off. Where it's a totally different. It's like you go to the comedy club in the 80s.
Little Office stinks like shit.
It doesn't quite stink like poo, but somebody farted really bad.
Fine.
This is like if you're going to a comedy club in the 80s and you paid money to see Gallagher, and Gallagher's brother comes up and does his
hitting walnuts.
Yeah, it's like it looks like Gallagher
with like a wiffle ball bat.
the roller skates are
walnuts.
out, but there's something different about that.
Right.
At number 4 is going to be a movie that has a soft spot in my heart because I was really excited about this in a very stupid, unforgettable kind of way. Geostorm. Oh man, what a bad movie.
Wow.
Can't decide.
You wanted to see this badly.
It can't decide if it wants it to take itself as seriously as like an Independence Day or even something more serious like an Executive Decision, or if it wants to be a joke like Sharknado 4. It never quite gets the tone. The only reason it's not higher on the list is because Gerard Butler, what kind of beer does he drink? You're damn right he's a Coors Light man in this movie. Horrible subplot between him and his brother having this like secret language that they invent. It's so bad. At number 3 is a movie that Kristian and I experienced experience together, and we both took turns wanting to leave, that would be
What's that?
Daddy's Home 2.
Oh, that's number 3.
Daddy's
That's number 3.
Home
It's
2
fine.
is number 3.
That's fine.
It could have been a contender for number 2 or number 1,
I'm
but they
curious.
do. There's one thing that's very funny that I'm going to repeat right now.
Because you haven't seen the 2 and 1 on my list, so we're not going to have the same 2 or 1.
No.
Yeah.
No, you might be surprised by one of the ones on my list is the scene where Will Ferrell is trying to bond with Mel Gibson, who's the dad of Mark Wahlberg in the movie at the beginning, and he says something. Mel Gibson says something that's crass and out of place in a family movie, and Will Ferrell looks at him and trying to make the best of a bad situation. He says, "Oh, provocative."
Uh-huh.
Killed me. And then they use the do they know it's Christmas time at all?
Right.
And I love that song. It's the best running song. Doesn't matter what season. If you're jogging on a treadmill, you put on Do They Know It's Christmas Time at All, you will run faster. Trust me on this one.
Number 2.
Number 2 is The Mummy.
Oh, wow.
Number 2 is The Mummy.
Yeah.
One of the most horrific
You hated this, yeah.
experiences I've seen in a movie because I didn't hate watching it, but then you get out of the theater and you're like, this movie's growing on me the wrong way. Why did they? I hate movies that have wasted potential,
Sure.
wasted opportunity. That's what The Mummy was. Darn you, Tom Cruise.
I think your list is a good bad list. I think you've got a lot of stinkers.
I think that's a
on it.
compliment.
It is a compliment. Because I had The Mummy obviously on honorable mentions. I left the movie.
I am shocked that's not in your top. I want to hear these 5 movies because I am shocked that didn't make it.
Let's just do it because, well, for me, I just thought that I realized that's a bad movie. I just didn't. We walked out of that movie, everybody hated it, and I said, it was just this stupid popcorn
You
movie.
could have had the dark
It was
universe,
bad.
man.
It was bad. It was bad. I'm definitely not saying anything about it. All right, so 5 through 1. 5 through 2. Excuse me. Number 5 is 50 Shades Darker.
Provocative.
It is not provocative. It is beyond insane, stupid. Another comedy that tries to pass itself off as something else. The chemistry has continued to not be there. There is a scene alone with this airplane scene. Got as big of a laugh as Unforgettable did. I felt like I was watching a Farley Brothers comedy because there was some stuff that happens in this movie. It's not sexy. It continues to be not sexy. They keep making these things. The dialogue is written by a 4-year-old who's watching Showtime at night.
Did they CGI pubes in this one? Do we know?
I don't think so. Nothing sexy in this movie.
Cody, can you see they CGI pubes?
Bring Google Images up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Go ahead, look that up.
Number 4 would be Baywatch. I hate putting The Rock's movie so high up on this list, but I have to do it. The movie sucks to high heaven.
I haven't heard good things.
It's so bad. Nothing hits. You want it to. You're hoping they pitch it as if it's going to be 21 Jump Street. I think The Rock himself knew. He's a great promoter, and you could tell when he was promoting Baywatch, he was just kind of selling it as The Rock does, but when he was Jumanji, big smile on his face, proud of it, as he should have been, because wow, are they completely different as far as quality. This movie just does not work at all. It is mean-spirited a lot of the times. When they try to be funny, it doesn't work at all. They make The Rock at points unlikable, and I don't know how you do that. It became this stupid spy movie, and I know that's also what the television show did at times, but they tried to play off this nostalgia. It failed miserably. Speaking of failing miserably, that's something that you brought up before. We both have at number 3, Daddy's Home 2.
It's your number 3 too?
It's my number 3.
All right.
Yeah, it is atrocious. It is atrocious. It's
so
another
not
one.
funny with so much talent.
Now I hated the first one, and then I saw the trailer for the second one. I said, oh, maybe they'll do something a little different. But I realized that this movie, like you said, it didn't work in this family film. It didn't. If it was maybe like a rated R film where they could take chances and do some other things, but they tried to mix this weird humor with this family humor. And you talk about mean-spirited. This entire movie is mean-spirited, and John Lithgow is funny for about 5 seconds, and he gets annoying. Mel Gibson is trying as hard as he can to be.
It was Gallagher's brother.
Yeah,
it looked like Mel Gibson,
working.
but it just something was wrong.
It just wasn't working. The Wahlberg and Will Ferrell thing was getting tired. I was getting bored of Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell was annoying me. John Cena was awful in this movie.
There's a 10-minute dad thermostat joke.
The whole thing, and the movie's 20 minutes long. It is a shit show. It is something that no one should watch, and I hope that they don't ever make a third one.
Do they know it's Christmas time at all?
I don't know, but I'll go with number 1. Number 1 is a movie.
No, number 2.
Number 2, I didn't hit it. Oh, number 2, I just watched it. I punished myself, and I shouldn't have. You talk about playing off nostalgia and failing miserably. Chips. This movie.
Oh, you poor.
I got it.
Angel.
I have it on Blu-ray. I watched it, and I wish that I had soap for the eyes because it is.
Jeez.
When you have Dax Shepard, it would have been better than this. Michael Pena, these guys are very talented. Michael Pena looks like a second-rate comedian in this thing, and he's so good he has this garbage given to him, and then you have Dax Shepard, who is to blame for all of it. He directed it, he wrote it.
That's why I feel so bad for Dax. It was like his baby.
I
that he
don't
really
feel bad for him
believed
because
in,
I had
but-
to sit there and watch. This is punishment. This is what you give this to your enemies.
Yeah.
You give this to people. You send this to people you don't like. You don't send them fruitcake for Christmas. You send them chips.
Get 'em chips.
You send them chips. And I'll end it off with number one. And number one, what could be worse than that? It would
Worst
be
movie of the year.
Yeah, I'll give you the poop emoji because it's the emoji.
Oh,
the emoji movie,
boy.
man. This is the only movie that I've ever told my daughter, a movie that she wanted to see, that I told her, no, I can't do that again. Other movies that
Really?
Yeah, there's been other movies that are just kids movies that I've watched and I've said, all right, I'll just sit through it and she'll like it, and I've kind of paned through it. This is not a movie I want her to see because
Yeah.
I think it is. I think it makes people dumb when they watch it, and it plays off of it. It's just like look at technology, look at the way we're going to sell you things on your phone in this movie. We'll make it clever and cute. We'll be Toy Story. What an insult to even mention Toy Story, to try to be Toy Story. There's a reason why this thing has like a 1% or 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, and that's generous.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So here's my question. You mentioned sending bad movies to your enemies. I think you still like me,
Yeah,
right?
I didn't send you
So I haven't seen 4 of your top 5 movies. I haven't seen
Yeah.
50 Shades,
Baywatch.
Baywatch, Emoji, or the other one,
Chips.
The Chips. Which one of those movies do you think Mark Ellis could sit down and have the best time watching? Probably 50 Shades.
50 Shades.
Right? There's
Yeah.
there's nudity.
50 Shades.
You know,
There-
there's a dumb story to get.
because I out of those movies, I enjoyed watching that movie because I wanted to see what stupidity was going to come
Okay,
next. Like
okay.
I was in pain watching
Yeah.
Emoji and
Yeah.
Chips.
Okay. Well, my number one movie is going to surprise a lot of people. I think it's going to be a very controversial
say
pick
Last Jedi.
in the comment board. But in the way that some fans were really upset at The Last Jedi for what they interpreted as kind of trashing the previous movies a little bit. And you hear that with DC movies, with like Justice League.
Yeah.
Oh, they could have done this. And even Marvel movies, you hear that sometimes like, well, they went away from the source material and they kind of trashed it. I have never seen a franchise try to come back and have so much potential to come back and then have everything just burned down to the ground like Kylo Ren burning down Luke's Jedi training academy. And that would be my number one worst movie of the year that I sat through and was just shocked and awed at how bad it was and how bad of a time I had watching it. Alien Covenant.
Wow.
I hated that movie.
You're number one?
I hated that movie so much. And look,
Wow.
when you watch Alien Covenant, is
Man.
it actually as bad as like the Smurfs or Bye Bye Man? Probably not cinematically, but what it did to me, because I get my expectations,
Right.
sorry, I get them a little bit higher
you understand,
for an
right.
Alien Ridley Scott movie, Kristian, than I do for Bye Bye Man or something like that. It is just so bad, start to finish. It doesn't start off good, and it just gets worse and dumber and more ridiculous, and they take the plot in weird ways, and it commits the worst sin of all in an Alien movie. It's boring.
Wow.
It's so effing boring. I would rather have poop emojis talking at me for 2 hours than sit through
No,
the
you don't.
bore
No, you didn't
fest
see it.
that is
You didn't
ruining
see
the
it.
Alien legacy as we speak.
Wow. I'm look at your list. I'm gonna disagree with
I
you.
said my piece.
I'm gonna I look at your list, and you should. That's your list.
Thank you.
I almost borderline liked Alien
I remember
Covenant.
you saying you liked it.
I
remember
borderline
people
liked
saying
it.
they liked it.
I think that it is, for my opinion of the particular movie, was that it didn't do anything new for the genre, but I thought it was just like a typical Alien film.
Oh man,
No.
I hate it.
Alright.
I watched it on demand at home, and it was by myself.
You're
and
just bummed. And you were
turn
excited
off
to
the
watch it?
lights, pop a big thing of
Hated
pop.
it.
When was the last time I told you about making some Orville Redenbacher's popping corn?
Right.
I did it for this
Did
movie.
you melt butter and throw it on there too?
No, I used to do that all the time though.
But you
It's a
don't do it anymore?
good trick.
Yeah.
If you invest the time, it's worth it.
Okay. Well, that's our list. That's what stinks. What do you think stinks? Go ahead and put a comment and put your top 10 biggest fart box movies of the year and write that. So here's my fart box
Yeah.
movie. Don't just make sure you write movie, and then keep on writing it. Keep on writing and give us your 10.
Fun fact: when people say fart box, he gets $1 every time. Make sure you guys check out our recent movie review down there, recent show up there, and then you can click over here to subscribe and maybe get some T-shirts or sweatshirts, as the case may be. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, everybody. We'll see you real soon for our most anticipated movies of 2018.